What's up? It's Livewire Low Key Productions. Thanksgiving Day 2015. Just want to go over and pretty much go over why music is my addiction, and this is the intro video for my group that I got on Facebook, and pretty much go into detail of how music, has been a big part of my life. When I was 16, my grandparents, they bought me my first car, and my parents didn't have a car at the time. So what I did was, I sold them my car, turned around and bought DJ equipment from somebody I knew, and that was selling some DJ equipment. And from there, I started, slowly building a DJ setup, and started doing little parties and scratching and a couple weddings here and there, and trying to gather up my music collection at that point. And a couple years later, I'd say 3 or 4 years later after doing that, I had some sick setup at some time. I had 4 PV SP2Gs, I had a couple amps, and check the picture. Right now I had some Technique 1200s and pretty sick setup. But I was always asking myself, why am I playing other people's music? I'd rather be making my own. So at that point, I sold all my records, all my DJ equipment, and I started putting that money towards the studio. So I bought a little bit of little pieces here and there. Started building a small studio in my bedroom. And when I lived with my boy, in my room I had a little studio, and check the pictures. It was a small setup, not too fancy. Just stuff to record. I recorded Crapplebees, and that was a pretty good hit at the time because I was working at Applebee's during the day, and everybody got a kick out of that song. So then from that setup, it was a small setup. I wanted something big, so I slowly, was working and just saving my money. Sold one thing, bought another thing, and you could see in the pictures here, my next setup was pretty diesel. I got a house. Then when I bought my house, I turned my garage into a full-blown studio. And was recording local MCs, Tommy Guns, Remedy Skies now he goes by, and Gotti and some others were, they came through now and then. Freezy, 307 did a bunch of tracks at the studio. The Volcano, I called it at the time, and pretty much it, with the garage door being, permanently put down in place. I had some, you can check the pictures. Yeah, check the pictures. It was a pretty tight studio. I had the garage door put down in place, and I had soundproofing in between the garage door and the wall I built where the booth was, and I had the window and the whole 5'9", and it was pretty legit. And you'd go in the studio, it was pitch dark, and you didn't know what time of day it was, so it was pretty crazy. And we got a lot of music done there, recorded a lot of albums, and did a lot of songs in there. Unfortunately, life happens, shit happens, and the house got foreclosed, and at that time I had lost my job and my car, and shit was going downhill. So I took all my studio equipment and sold it piece by piece, and you pay the bills and try to get by at that time. So then, that was about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So there I was again, with no music. I was listening to music, always thinking to myself, why did I do that? I didn't have any choice really, but yeah, it was a hard time. I went a long time without making music, pretty pissed off with myself. So about 2 years ago, I said, fuck it, and I started building a studio again, little by little. I met up with Mike, aka Remedy Skies, and I asked him what he was doing. He said, nah, I'm not even doing anything. So I bought, laptop and Ableton Live and some monitors, and slowly started building up another studio to get some music done again. So it's been 2 years, and as you can see now, I'm fully equipped. I got a sick arsenal of sounds, and just ready to put in that work and put together some dope music. Because the music out nowadays, I'm not really too fond of. So trying to really bring it back to the 90s era when hip hop was about lyrics, and it wasn't just a sick beat with some blase BS on it. So that's where it is right now, man. So I'm 36, gonna be 37, and so I'm pretty much, music is my addiction, because I've pretty much been 20 years now in music and making music on and off, and just never quit, just never stopped doing it, and always made sure I got back into it, because it was what I love to do, and I could just never put it down and just forget about it, let it go. So now I have everything that I pretty much need to start making music and then make more albums. As for recording people, it's a tough recording other people. It's a tough business out there to do that, unless you have like a business outside your home, a studio outside your home that you could charge people hourly, or do some recording blocks, because you don't want to just have any Tom, Dick, and Harry in your house, in your studio with your family. So I'm pretty much, if there's friends that come through that want to, throw me some dough and record a song or two, I'm down for that. But as for, just advertising and having people come to my house to record, times are crazy, man. I can't be doing that. So other than that, though, that's pretty much it. That's all it boils down to when it comes down to why music is my addiction, and how I've gotten into music, and how I've always been into music, and will always do music. I mean, I'll be sitting here making beats and writing rhymes and recording probably till I'm 60, 65, 70, who knows, 80 years old, and making hip hop records that don't, it's not about age, or skin color at that, with all this BS that's going on over the internet. It's what's in your heart and what you love to do. So this is it. Making music for me is what I like to do. So with that being said, I'll catch y'all later. Livewire, Low Key Productions.